Welcome back. It's College Week on American Morning, and today we're taking a look at a serious issue on campuses: underage drinking. It doesn't just pertain to campuses, but it's a place where the controversy has been brewing lately because there are some lawmakers and there's some movements out there right now gaining ground on campuses and in some states to lower the legal drinking age to 18, saying they think it could actually help the problem of underage drinking and abuse of alcohol. Joining us now, the president of Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Glenn Birch. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
And also John McCardle. He's the head of Choose Responsibility. Good morning to you as well, John.
Good morning. Great to be with you.
And let me start with you. You want the legal drinking age lowered. You want it to be 18, which would make it easier, of course, for teenagers to get alcohol, because if it was legal, they could buy it. How would that actually help curb the problems associated with underage drinking and drunk driving?
We need to keep in mind, first of all, that this is not really about drunk driving. Everyone is against drunk driving, and we've made enormous strides against drunk driving over the last several decades. But that has had very little to do with the drinking age. The only way to measure the effectiveness of a law that has been on the books for 23 years and that says if you're under 21, you may not legally drink, is to ask ourselves, is that law working? Are young adults under the age of 21 drinking, or are they not? And by that simple standard of measurement, the law has been an absolute failure. Furthermore, lives lost to alcohol in places other than on the highways are going up in the 18 to 24-year-old group. More than 1,000 lives a year are lost to alcohol off the highways by 18 to 24-year-olds, and we need to ask ourselves where that's happening and why.
All right, hold on. Let me get to 2 points. First of all, Glenn, he says that the issue of lowering the drinking age is not about drunk driving. Do you agree?
I disagree. It is about drunk driving. You know, the 21 law is a vital tool in our success to eliminate drunk driving. You must have strong laws, strong enforcement, there's new technology, and then there's the public support. The public supports the 21 law because it continues to save lives.
All right, you know, let me ask Mr. McCardle, you talk about some of the statistics, but MADD also, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, also cites statistics, as did the National Highway Safety Administration, saying that when the legal drinking age was 18, alcohol was a factor in 55% of all fatal crashes of young drivers, and that since then, the alcohol-related traffic fatality rate has actually dropped in half. Isn't that evidence that it's working?
The downward trend began in all age groups before the age was changed, and the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety reported as recently as yesterday that over the last 10 years that number has leveled off. And besides which, we need to talk about alcohol and its effects in all venues, not just on the highways. Lives lost to alcohol in dark rooms and behind closed doors, where the law has forced it, are no less precious.
All right, let me ask you about this, Glenn, because some say, look, what about the argument that if you're 18, you can go to war, you can get married, you can vote, there are so many things you can do, but you can't choose yourself if you want to have a beer or a glass of wine. What about the argument that, you know, if you lower the drinking age, you cut the mystique a little and people aren't abusing it as much?
Well, first of all, I think John is misinformed. You know, we have great respect for the military. The Defense Department was in favor of the law when it was passed in 1984. There is no evidence that shows that if we allow our kids to drink at an earlier age, that they will drink responsible. The proposal is to lower the drinking age to 18 from 21. Already the median of drinking is 13 years old. Where do you want it to begin? In elementary school? We need to accept the responsibility with our young adults, teach them about the dangers, but more important, we need to enforce the law. The 21 law works.
All right, well, it's a debate that rages on, and like I said, it's gaining steam on the internet as well as in other places like college campuses and in other states, actually. But thanks for presenting both sides. Glenn Birch, the president of Mothers Against Drunk Driving, as well as John McCardle, head of Choose Responsibility. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Take a quick break. American Morning.